is how I play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Oh my god. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Excuse me. Sound good?
At least for now, folks, within the first 12 hours here that I've had videos of The Evil Within 2 live on YouTube.
The good news is they have not been demonetized. I was very nervous because if you're not aware, my entire playthrough of the original Evil Within 2, or Evil Within game, excuse me, was demonetized on YouTube. Now, it doesn't mean that no ads show up. It means that it's considered not advertiser friendly.
And therefore, the ads that I will get on those videos are very scarce. So there will maybe ads playing, but they're not going to be the big money-making ads. And so far, so good. And this makes me actually feel pretty positive, because the bottom line is for new releases. In general, the rule of thumb for new releases is that most people will watch the videos within the first few days. So whenever the game releases, the first few days, that's when I get the massive majority of views on most new release playthroughs that I do.
So as long as these videos don't get demonetized in the first few days, I'm good to go. So right now I'm feeling pretty positive. I was really worried they would instantly be demonetized. They were not. So that's good news, okay?
Ash40 says, don't stop putting your videos on YouTube. I am not in any way, shape, or form considering stopping putting videos on YouTube. So don't worry about that either. You know, YouTube, even though, let's be really honest here, everyone. Even though this year, pretty much YouTube fell apart for everybody. You know, the website tanked, ad revenue tanked. They don't listen to the content creators at all anymore. They demonetize everyone's videos, and people are completely going out of business who are making a living doing YouTube. For me, YouTube has become my backup, meaning, yes, I keep uploading videos to YouTube no matter what. I am fully aware that there are people who want to watch my live streams and either can't because they don't have the free time when I do them, or they just don't have the bandwidth. I'm fully aware that watching a live stream takes a lot more bandwidth than watching an on-demand video on YouTube, okay? I will not, I will not stop uploading my gameplay videos to YouTube if I can help it.
Even if it comes to the point where I'm not even making money doing it, I would probably still consider doing it, since it was the YouTube viewers who got me where I am, who got me any kind of viewership. It would be pretty selfish of me to say, oh, screw YouTube, I'm never uploading there again.
Right now, I still get a significant chunk of my monthly income from YouTube. No lie, it's a little bit less than half, but it's still a big chunk. And that's why it does concern me with a game like Evil Within 2. If it's going to get demonetized or whatever, that's going to negatively affect me in a big way, alright? Eventually, I'd like to be totally free from that kind of control of YouTube deciding to do stupid shit and screwing me completely over. And let me tell you guys, if you guys continue to show up for streams and continue to do what you've been doing all year in regards to, you know, cheering, subbing, tipping, and everything, it's very reasonable that within a couple of years, maybe I won't have to worry at all about YouTube income anymore. Right now, we're not there yet, but if we keep it up, every month's getting better and better. Alright? It really is. So thank you to everyone who's been doing so much to be supportive and to keep me going and, you know, to keep everything the way it is. I'm very appreciative of that, okay?
Thank you for all of your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I need that money. I really do. I need that money. Good job. Thanks for the money. You're stupid. Anything for this, right?
Alright, shout out to Shadow Steve, who did a 50-bit cheer. He says, Shadow of War is a great game. Why don't people just boycott the loot boxes? Instead, they miss out on a great game. A shame, really. Shadow Steve, I have a good answer for you. Here's why.
Because people are not mature, okay? People are not mature enough in the head to realize that the world is not black and white, okay?
In a mature adult world, you realize everything's shades of gray. Not anyone is always definitively right. Not everyone is always definitively wrong. There's a lot of different perspectives, and you learn to walk in the shoes of others. The perfect example here is Shadow of War. The game is outstanding. The game improves upon the entirety of the formula of Shadow of Mordor in almost every single way. The combat is more free-flowing. There's way more abilities in the game. The Nemesis system is much improved. The actual parkour / the ability to move throughout the map is much improved. It doesn't have a slow start like Shadow of Mordor did. The plot is great. I mean, there's a bunch of fun, unique characters. You're fighting fucking Balrogs and Nazgul. It's pretty much everything a Lord of the Rings fan would look for in a video game. It really is. But yes, the game has this shitty practice of having loot boxes as an option to advance through the game at an advanced pace rather than taking your time and grinding in order to beat the game, which is the way that it's intended to be played, alright? Now, the problem here is that we live in a very immature world and a very immature culture. Again, if people who were in positions of power and people who had big followings on YouTube and the internet were mature adults, they'd be able to see the video. They'd be able to see the situation objectively. And they would say, listen, the loot box situation is shitty, but the game is good. So if you like this type of game, still buy the game because there's been a ton of time, effort, and work made by these game developers to put out an amazing game for you. But boycott the loot box system. Do not use it. Because if you play an outstanding game and you ignore the loot boxes, they probably won't keep implementing these loot boxes into future games. Instead, that's not what's happened. Instead of having the gray area kind of mentality, right, we have to be black and white. So because this game has loot boxes in it, ban it. Do not play it. Boycott it completely.
Fuck the game developers. Fuck WB Games. Fuck anyone who worked hard on this fucking outstanding game, which is one of the best games of 2017, hands down. Fuck that game and ignore it completely. That is the mentality of a 5-year-old. That's the mentality of an immature idiot who doesn't realize that you can still understand that there's a great game there that you can enjoy, just don't support the loot box system. And the way that that's created, that situation, is for immature audiences to get hype and to get negative drama stirred up so you can get more views and more money. That's why this whole situation's been like that. Because a small group of very powerful YouTubers who have giant audiences and everyone seemed to trust, instead of being mature about the situation, literally did the opposite and said, well, don't play any games with loot boxes, boycott this outstanding game, and let's make a big hoopla on social media about it so we can get more views. And that's exactly what's happened. And it's pathetic.
It's pathetic that the mainstream gamers are so sheepish and followish that they just believe everything they're told, and they're going to ignore one of the best games of the year just because it has a loot box system in it that you can ignore. And that's the other thing I have to emphasize here. You don't ever have to buy a loot box in the game, ever. Yes, there may be an end game grind of 5 hours. Oh no, a grind of 5 hours. Should that be in the game? No, of course not. There shouldn't be any grindy parts in modern video games, yet they still exist. But you can ignore it and still beat the game fine. You don't need the loot boxes. It's just a shortcut for those who have money to burn and want to blow through it. Alright? Do I support the practice? No. But should people boycott a game that's outstanding, better than the original and one of the best games of the year, just because it has a bad practice in it?
No, that's the mindset of a small fucking dumb child. An ignorant idiot. A mouth-drooling moron. That's who does that kind of stuff. I have no fucking self-control. I'm not a whiny baby. Shout out to the frog in my throat, who did a 10-bit cheer. He says, I thought you said you weren't running a business. Well, technically I'm not. I am not a legally registered business or anything. When I say business, I mean the way I make my money. But technically, I'm considered an independent contractor. I don't have a legally registered business or anything like that.
Oh yeah, I will say one final thing, and this is going to be very political. I almost never do this, but apparently Donald Trump's presidential, what do they call it? Not his legislation, his whatever. He's decided to sign an executive order that would end the subsidies for Obamacare, so that basically all these insurance companies that are required to cover low-income people and or people with pre-existing conditions still have to do it. And those low-income people basically keep getting their insurance, but he's made it so that he's not going to subsidize the insurance companies anymore, alright? So, the problem is, if you haven't heard about this yet, the insurance companies, are still legally required to give the appropriate healthcare to the lower-income people. But the money has to come from somewhere to pay for this coverage because the lower-income people can't afford it. So guess where it's coming from, folks? Me! So not only did my premiums go up during Obamacare, now because President Trump signed this order, my premiums are going to go up again. Isn't this nice? Isn't this great that the middle class complained to, Republicans that they said they wanted to end Obamacare because they couldn't afford healthcare? So President Trump signs an order that's going to make it even more unaffordable. Isn't that nice?
I'm not a whiny baby.
I read this and I was like, wow, it's not, but let me give you an example here, everybody. My healthcare started out around $200 a month. This last year it went up to $293 a month. Can you imagine what it's going to be now? It's probably going to be like $400 a month for the same fucking level of healthcare that doesn't pay for anything for me. What the fuck? This is ridiculous. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. Sorry guys, I'm being real, I don't know how I'm supposed to afford it. My money is going to other things, and, you know, now healthcare goes up again. I'm gonna have to get, like, the most ridiculous bare bones plan. Oh, you see, Runes85 says, well, you might as well just cancel your healthcare. I can't, because if we cancel healthcare under Obamacare, we still have to pay the same amount of money that we would have paid for the healthcare as a tax penalty. That's how Obamacare works. That's why they forced everyone into the market for health insurance. We're all paying these high premiums, and we're legally forced to do so, or we have to pay taxes equivalent of the fucking healthcare. So it's basically, you're screwed. This Obamacare completely fucked everyone. The only people that benefited were the lower class who don't have a lot of money for healthcare. They all get free healthcare now, and or they pay for it, but then they get the money back through government credits and stuff. Anyone who is middle class is completely boned, and even more. So Donald Trump promised that he was going to fix healthcare for the middle class, and then he just signed an executive order that's going to make it worse for the middle class. Definitively 100% worse. How nice of him. So if anyone who says that I'm one of these alt-right people who's always on the side of the Republicans, you're out of your fucking mind right now. I would love to, and I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not. I'm just going to play the evil within and have fun tonight because I'm so fucking frustrated right now. I seriously am, like, really frustrated. When I heard about this, I was like, you've got to be fucking shitting me.
I'm not a whiny baby.
Let me get my headphones on. I just have to get that off my chest because, you know, healthcare has been one of the things I've bitched about the most since Obamacare went into service here in America, and how it fucked me over completely. Because remember, 2 years ago, I was actually sick. I went to the doctor, and even though I was paying over $200 a month for health insurance, I ended up paying over $1,000 in medical care bills for something basic, for swelling in my fucking foot. It wasn't even like they did an operation or nothing. All it was a doctor's visit, and a medication cost me over $1,000. So now I'm gonna pay more money, even more money, pretty much doubling my premiums in the past 2 years to get the same shitty medical coverage. Let me play this game, get my mind off this fucking bullshit before I get really angry on the stream. You don't want to see me really angry, guys, because when I get really angry, the fucking chunks will be coming off the walls in a second.
I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! I have a micro penis. Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Alright, I'm not dead, but I swear to God I wish I fucking was.